Hello, and welcome back to the Pure Nintendo podcast. This is your weekly dose of all things Nintendo. My name is Jemma, and joining me this week, I have the one and only Kirk. Welcome back, Kirk.
Hey, it is great to be here. I'm sorry Trev couldn't join us, so we could make fun of him a little bit for the Super Bowl.
Yes, I know, right? Yes, we're thinking of you, Trav. Sorry your team didn't win, but it was a good game.
You know what? I do have to point one thing out. I bring this up for a reason because
Yes.
um, listeners, Trevor's a Patriots fan and I'm a Seahawks fan, and we had been before the podcasts offering reasons on why Gemma needed to support my team versus his team, and going back and forth. But the game actually gave us the final reason on why you needed to support the Seahawks.
Oh, what is the final reason?
Before the game started, the Patriots were introduced by John Bon Jovi.
All right, okay.
The Seahawks were introduced by Mario,
Oh my
Chris Pratt.
goodness, yes. That is a good reason, isn't it? That's the
See,
best
yep,
reason.
we've got Mario's support.
Yeah. I see, how do I compete with that, honestly? Yes. There's no
Yeah.
way. There's no way. Yeah. John Bon
The
Jovi's
only,
cool, but he's not Mario.
the only thing better would have been if Charles Martinet
Yeah,
had
yeah,
introduced
yeah.
the Seahawks.
Yes, indeed. That would have been cool. Yes, it was a good game. Congratulations to the Seahawks. We have a lot of news to cover this week. Last week we had the Direct special, so we hope everyone enjoyed that. It was a really fun episode. We've got a lot of news. Some of it's left over from the week before, but there's a lot of new news as well. Lots of game announcements, lots of sales data, as well as Kirk's Corner and the games that we're playing, of course. So let's get to it. But first up, I wanted to mention an announcement that just came out yesterday as of recording, as far as I know, and it was Castlevania Belmont's Curse is heading to the Switch in 2026. And this is coming from Konami, and there's a couple of others. Like it looks like a team effort here, which is pretty cool. It's set 23 years after Castlevania Dracula's Curse. And you know what's happening is we're celebrating, I think, isn't it the 40th anniversary of Castlevania? Is that correct? Are you aware of that?
Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah. There's an anniversary happening this year. As part of the anniversary celebrations, Konami has announced Belmont's Curse coming. So it's coming to all consoles. I believe it's Switch 1 and 2. Did I write that down? No, I did not. I think it's both. I think it's definitely Switch, and I think that Switch 2 will work if it's not a dedicated Switch 2 edition. But it's your classic, side-scrolling Castlevania, adventure. Are you much of a Castlevania player, Kirk?
I was back in the DS day. Um,
Mm-hmm.
in fact, I think I have a what's a fond memory for me of when my wife was in labor with our second child.
Mm-hmm.
I sat in the hospital room with her and played Castlevania.
Okay.
You
Why
know,
not?
what else was I going to do? It was all out of my hands. I was there for support and gaming.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I completed it before my son was born. So
That's awesome. That's very cool. Yes. Well, this one, it doesn't have a specific release date. It's just 2026, but it does have a trailer. If you're watching this on YouTube, you'll see the trailer while we're talking. It does look pretty cool. It looks very, I guess the graphics look really stylized and pretty nice and modern for a 2D platformer. Did you look at the trailer? Did you like the look of this one? What do you
I
think?
did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you and I have discussed how good these platformers can look like on the
Mm.
Switch.
Hmm.
When on the Switch, versus say when we used to play them on the Game Boy or the DS.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, I really like the looks of it. There was a lot of action going on that looked like it would be pretty difficult.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but we pushed through the previous games, so they were pretty difficult too. So yeah, this looks like a fun one. I wasn't sure if it was a remake of something or a new game, but it looks like it is completely new content, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yes, which is really cool because we do get a lot of remakes,
Yeah.
and this is not. So that's good. That is a good thing. I don't have a whole lot of Castlevania experience. I definitely have played the series, some of the series,
Yeah.
and I know there are a lot of titles, and I've just dipped in and out. One that I do have a pretty strong memory of is Super Castlevania 4 for the Super Nintendo, which was a really cool one that I used to play with some friends. So that was my kind of introduction. So I kind of have a soft spot, particularly for Simon Belmont, because he was in that one. So anytime I see a game that's not Simon, I'm just like, that's not that's not Castlevania. Simon is the man. So, because he was my hero when I was playing that back in the day. But no, I know it's a big family thing. There's a whole lot of Belmonts, and they're all fighting Dracula. So I love that lore of it. I love that sort of side of it, and I do love a good vampire themed, game or movie. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, very interested in this one. Very interested indeed.
I think
Uh,
my only problem with this series is,
mhm.
as you mentioned, there are a lot of games, and they really do blend together for
They
me.
do.
If you gave
A
me a
little.
list of all the games, I would not be able to pick which ones I have actually played and which ones I haven't.
There you go. Yeah. I've been meaning to get some of those collections that they have on the Switch, that have a whole bunch of them together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that would be a good way to reprise my, I don't know, to play some that I haven't played before. But yeah, I would like to know more about the stories. Perhaps if you've played all of them and you're a true fan, you might know. And the series on Netflix was quite good too. I thought that was pretty hardcore there. So yeah, I'm glad it's still around after 40 years. Yeah. Another anniversary this year is Rayman. We talked about this anniversary a little while ago, or maybe was it this year or last year? I don't know. They're still celebrating it, so I'm assuming it's this year. But they surprised everyone with this announcement that the 30th anniversary edition of Rayman is coming out. It's actually out. It came out on the 13th, so they announced it. Hey, it's coming out tomorrow, kind of thing. It's out now. It features 5 versions of the 1995 original. So that does make last year the anniversary, actually. But anyway, it's a little bit late. That's all right. Including apparently the Atari Jaguar and the Game Boy Color. It includes 120 bonus levels, a reimagined soundtrack, rewind feature, and an hour-long interactive documentary. And I feel like this would be right up Trev's alley. I know he was a fan of Rayman. What do
Yeah.
you? Yeah,
Yeah, and
I
a fan of these kind of packages because
yes.
Atari's put this out for a few different games, with the documentaries and the history
Mhm.
and all of this content. So yeah, they do a great job. Um, I didn't know that Raymond deserved all of this, but
Yeah.
apparently they do. Yeah.
Yeah, apparently. I didn't know it was that big until we talked about it last year when they announced that they were,
Mm.
this is the anniversary, we're gonna do something cool. I did not know it was that big, but it is. So there you go. I guess I didn't play the original. I played the one on the Wii or I don't know, Wii U? Didn't the Wii U have a really nice one, I think,
I
as a
think
launch
so
title?
because I think that's the one that I played. Was that
Hmm.
like a 4-player game?
Yeah, I think so. It was really nice looking. It was a launch title, and it was I don't know. Everyone seemed to like it, so I know it looked beautiful, kind of graphically as a side-scrolling platformer. But I'd never played Rayman before that. So anyway, 30 years later, here we are. So yeah, hopefully that's a fun little thing for fans. So that's already out, as I said. Let us know, listeners, if that's something you're dabbling in. We will find out if Trav's dabbling in it and if he has any thoughts on it. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And then we have another kind of announcement. We had this game already last year. It was supposed to come out, I think it was October maybe, called Mina the Hollower from Yacht Club Games. And they delayed it. I think they wanted to do some more work on it. There is a demo. I think it's still available. That's pretty neat. And this is the team behind Shovel Knight. So we're pretty excited about this one. The demo is really fun. It's kind of a top-down experience. And it now has a launch window, I suppose, which is spring 2026 for Switch and Switch 2. I'm guessing you didn't get around to trying this one,
I
did
did
you?
not.
No,
No.
that's okay. Yeah, I tried this one at the time when the demo was released. I really liked it. It's kind of the team is really good at, just like Shovel Knight. It's kind of got that retro look about it, but it looks really nice at the same time. And I like that this is a different style because, Shovel Knight's the side-scrolling, classic, NES style, NES style gameplay, and this is the top-down classic retro style. It's really fun. It's really hard. There's lots of exploration by the looks of it, or in the demo at least, and lots of little puzzles and traps and things, lots of enemies. Yeah, I quite enjoy my time with it. It's one to look out for. So, spring 2026 is when is that? That's like quarter
It's
two.
close.
It's close, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you could consider the back half of March to be spring, in which case we're only about a
Mm.
month away from it. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So not too far away. So we'll see when we get a firm date for that one. I'd love to know if listeners also tried the demo, what they think about it. I have to tell tell you although A bit of a fun fact, kind of. I haven't actually played Shovel Knight, so I know Trev's always reprimanded me for that. He's like, "You have to play
Yes.
Shovel Knight." Yes. Have you played that one?
No.
Okay, well, we're in the same boat then.
Yeah.
I've heard such good things, and I see it all the time, and I keep meaning to get it, and I just haven't. So yeah, shame on me. There was some big sales news not long ago that we wanted to go through because Nintendo did announce, I guess, an update on its sales data from last year. So I think this is up until December 31st. And the Switch has officially overtaken, we knew it was close. It was really close. Well, last time we talked about it a few weeks ago or late last year, it was really close. And it has officially overtaken the DS. So it is now officially the best-selling Nintendo system of all time. So the Switch has done very, very well. So it's
Yes.
155.37 million, and the DS was 154.02 million. So yeah, not a huge difference. They're still wondering whether it will overtake the PlayStation 2, of course. I didn't write down that number, but it's close. I think
Well,
it's,
it
yeah,
it would have changed after you wrote
probably.
it down anyway.
Yes, exactly. I know it was 150 something, 156, 157. I can't remember. Anyway, it's close. Or maybe it's more. Maybe it's 160. I shouldn't say things I'm not sure about, should I, on the podcast? Don't quote me on that. You can Google it, but it is close, and so whether it makes it or not, we don't know, but it's very close. That's pretty cool, though. Look at the little Switch. How amazing is that? I thought,
Yeah.
yeah, back
Totally deserved. The
it is.
well-deserved accolade for a wonderful system.
Hmm. Yes. Is it your favorite system of Nintendo's? Do you think, or you still have a soft spot for the GameCube or the DS?
I think it would be. I think if I look back at my favorite games that I played
Hmm.
on the Nintendo systems, I bet that there are more on the Switch than the others. So yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
think of all the Nintendo ones that I've had, the Switch is probably it.
Yeah, there you go.
Which would
Very
make it
cool.
my favorite of any system, because that's pretty much all I've owned. Switch, and then in television, and then we'll have discussions after that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's cool. So yeah, the order is Switch, then DS in terms of sales for Nintendo. Switch, DS, Game Boy, Wii, and the Game Boy Advance, which is cool. I thought the Wii, I remember how phenomenally well that sold, and I didn't
Mhm.
realize that the Game Boy actually sold more than that. But I guess that makes sense. The Game Boy was pretty dang popular back in the day, wasn't it?
Yeah, less expensive. People could get it to go places with it. So yeah, that makes sense to me.
I
Do the
remember
DS numbers? Does that include 3DS? Do they bundle those into one?
I think it's separate. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure. Let me just double check that. Yes, it is separate. The DS comes after the Game Boy Advance, so it's like the sixth, I suppose. And you got the
Okay.
NES, the Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, GameCube, Switch 2, and Wii U. Which, sorry, that's a spoiler because we were going to say just now that the Switch 2 has also overtaken the Wii U. It's no longer the lowest selling console, which is cool. Yeah, and I was just going to say, I remember when we got the Game Boy, bit of a side note, but I remember we got it for Christmas when I was a kid and I didn't even know what it was. Just like when we got the NES, actually. We got the NES for Christmas, didn't know what it was. But this is my introduction to Nintendo. My parents just uh, bought us these things. And mum, I remember her exact words because we opened all our Christmas presents. And then the final one, she said, "This is the pièce de résistance, like the best, in French, the best gift." And we
Yep.
opened it. And it was a Game Boy. And we're like, "Whoa, what? Portable gaming console?" That was so cool. Yeah. So
What games
that's
did you get with it? Did she load you up right away?
we had Tetris, of course, and I think we had that pinball, that Gator pinball game, which was really fun. I don't know if it was straight away or not, but I remember we had Bart Simpson's Escape from Camp Deadly. That was one we had early on. That was pretty fun and really hard. I remember that. We didn't have Mario Land, which is a surprise. I don't know why we didn't have Mario Land. Yeah, because we did that. We got Mario Land 2 eventually when that came out, but yeah, just a few games to start with, but then it grew over time. I think we had
Yeah,
Home
sure.
Alone at some point. We had one of the Zelda games. Which one was it? Link's Awakening.
Uh, oh, okay.
Was that the one? That was a Game Boy one, wasn't it? I think. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
great little system, indeed. Listeners, let us know your favorite console And are we proud of the Switch for being the best? The best of the best. Can it overtake the PlayStation 2? Time will tell. But yes, as I mentioned, the Switch 2 is now at 17.37 million units. That was in its first, I guess, 6 months until the end of December. Nintendo is still targeting 19 million for the remainder of the fiscal year, which is the end of March. So I think that seems pretty achievable. 3 months, 2.5 million, 1.5 million, really, more or less. Yeah. So the poor old Wii U, I mean, something has to be at the bottom, right? So it's the Wii U, 13.56 million. I don't think there was any question that the Switch 2 would overtake that. But we'll see as it climbs up. Next it'll overtake the GameCube and then Nintendo 64. But it is off to a very good start. So that's really good news, particularly in Japan. When you break down the regions, Japan is where it's going pretty much gangbusters. You have any thoughts on that?
About it being more popular
Oh,
in Japan.
just generally about the Switch 2.
Well, I love it.
Yeah.
You talked about the Switch being my favorite system. With the
Mhm.
announcements that we've had so far this year about games coming, I could see that the Switch 2 could quickly pass that.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Um,
definitely. It's like a bigger, better Switch, so yeah, why not?
yeah,
And just the final piece of sales news that Nintendo released recently was about software. So the games for the Switch 2 and how well they've done. This is of December 31st as well. And there's no surprise in hearing that Mario Kart has sold very, very well. 14.03 million. That is a pretty high attachment rate. If you're thinking 17 million Switch 2 units and 14 million Mario Kart World games.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, making it available as a bundle when you first get the system certainly helps.
Oh, definitely. Yes. Yes. And I think that was a great. You got the bundle, didn't you?
Yes.
Yes, me too. Yeah. And it was almost like, why wouldn't you, right? Unless you don't like Mario Kart or you couldn't get it, of course. And it was slightly cheaper, of course, if you didn't get it with it. But for people who like Mario Kart and wanted to get it anyway, like what a good launch title, I think. So
Yeah.
yeah. So very high attachment rate there. That bundle, I think they said that's ending or it's ended, right? Did you hear that as well?
Let me see if it's still available at Nintendo. I know they
Yeah.
said that it wasn't going to last forever, but I didn't
Mm.
see anything specific about them turning it off yet.
Yeah, okay. I know I heard that it was ending. I don't know if that's actually happened yet, but it was coming to an end soon. So maybe they're just not making any more bundles and then whatever's left, they're still selling. But yeah, we'll see if it's still available while you're.
Well, I guess I don't see it at the Nintendo website. In
Oh,
fact, oh no, it's still there. It's still there.
okay.
They also have a bundle now with Pokemon Legends ZA,
Hmm.
and that's sold out. That yeah,
Right.
they made that
Yes.
available back in October, and that's gone.
Wow. There you go.
But Mario Kart is still available.
Yeah. Very cool. There is, if you are an Australian listener, there is a really good deal at EB Games for the bundle with Pokemon, actually. Um, I don't have it at my fingertips, sorry, but I did see it in an email recently. It's for the whole month of February, and it's to celebrate Pokemon's anniversary. But it's a really good deal. I can't remember the price, but I think it's like, I believe you get Pokemon Legends ZA free or very close to being free with the bundle. So check that out if you're in Australia and haven't got it yet. And you were looking to get a Switch 2 and Pokemon, very good deal. But in terms of the sales, yes, Mario Kart 14 million, Donkey Kong Bonanza sold 4.25 million, Pokemon Legends ZA 3.89 million, and Kirby Air Riders stuck in there at 1.76 million, which is pretty good for that little game. Kirby Air Riders. And this is for, Kirby Air Riders came out in November. So that's like, 1 to 2 months worth of sales. Pokemon
Yeah.
October. So that's kind of 2 months, 3 months there. So yeah, they're doing well, which is really good to see. Lots of games to enjoy. Let us know your favorite. Anything else to add about sales before we move on to some more news?
No, let's move on to more
Let's
news.
move on. Okay, sounds good. I just wanted to highlight that February is just a massive month of gaming. It's huge. We already had Dragon Quest VII Reimagined that came out on the 5th. This week that's just passed, we had some pretty big titles. We had Yakuza Kiwami 3 and Dark Ties. That was out on the 12th. So it's out now. Mario Tennis Fever also came out on the 12th. So that was just last Thursday. Reanimal, which I don't know a whole lot about, but I think it's from the makers of Little Nightmares, and that looks pretty neat. That's coming out, or it is out for me. It's today actually because we're recording on Valentine's Day. It's the 14th. It comes out on the 14th, so this weekend. If you're listening, obviously this comes out on Monday, so it would have come out a couple of days ago. We've got the Virtual Boy, which is bringing back those Nintendo classics to Switch 2 only. Is it? Remind me, is it Switch 2?
No,
No,
I
it's
think
it's both.
yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, but you need the peripheral, obviously, the cardboard or the actual peripheral. I have it in my basket ready to go, and I should have done it before the show. I'm gonna get it. I've decided, Kirk. I'm just gonna get the full thing. I wanna
Well, like
experience
the
it.
whole kit,
Yeah, I'm gonna get the kit.
the
I'm
expensive
gonna get
one.
yeah,
Oh,
I'm gonna do it. It's sitting in my cart.
dedicated.
It's yeah, I know, right? It's in my cart. Hey, it's my birthday soon. I'm just gonna, treat myself. It's in my cart along with the Mario Wonder amiibo. So yeah, because they come out in March also. So yeah, that's happening. I should have pressed submit before the show because then I could say I've actually ordered it. Especially because you've written here that hardware has shipped, which means
Yes.
I might have missed out on getting it on day one because I didn't order it in time.
Yeah, let's see. I'm because I'm looking at it now in the store, and the hardware. Oh wait, no, that's the software. Okay, I was going to say it looks like it's sold out, but no, it's the Nintendo Classics setup for the actual games.
Okay.
But yeah,
Mhm.
I ordered the cardboard one, and I got an email
Mhm.
yesterday saying that it had shipped,
Very
and it's
cool.
supposed to arrive on Monday. So the day this podcast drops, I should have one in my hands, but I won't be able to play it until Tuesday, the 17th, when the games are actually available. Um,
Okay.
but I
Mhm.
did see, I saw online people were talking about getting it, and one person said that he's just going to make it a permanent setup with his extra switch that he still has and never uses. His OLED is going to become the Virtual Boy kit, and then that permanently sits there and is available all the time instead of having to pick it up and swap it in and out of the carrier for it, more or less.
Oh,
Which
that's a
sounds
good
like a
idea.
great idea for an extra
Yeah,
switch. Yeah.
that is a really good idea. Yes, I love that. I mean, I have the original Switch. I could do that, right? Can I do that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure.
Wow, that is cool. And you know what? Live on the air, it's not live because it's a podcast, it's pre-recorded. But but I'm gonna purchase it right now so that
Oh,
yeah, next week I can talk about it.
very exciting.
Yes, yes, indeed. So yeah, that's happening. And then I guess another big game this month is, of course, the Resident Evil Requiem, which comes out on the 27th of February. So that's still a week or so away, almost 2 weeks, I guess. But yeah, that is a big game that's coming out as well. Huge, actually, I think, for Resident Evil fans. And that one's looking really nice. And I'm more and more tempted by this every time we talked about it last week because they showed a trailer during the direct.
Hmm.
I think I've told you I've, dabbled in Resident Evil. It's not it has somewhat been available on Nintendo systems, but I've never fully gone into it. I remember playing it with a friend, the original or maybe the second one on their like PlayStation 1, 2, 3. I can't remember what it was. This one just it does look like an interactive movie almost. Like the visuals look really good. What's your thoughts? Are you going to pick this one up or what's happening with you?
Oh, I don't know. I'm so up and down, hot and
Mhm.
cold on Resident Evil.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Boy, I loved 4. I think that was the first one that I played,
Mhm.
and then went back and did some other ones, and I never enjoyed anything as much as 4.
Okay. Mhm.
So, which isn't uncommon. I know that 4 was quite a bit different, I think, from quite a few games in the series.
Yeah.
So I have to see what the reviews are, see what the gameplay is,
Mhm.
and take it from there. It's not a series that I immediately jump into, but I'm open to if
Mm.
the game gets a good enough review and is more my style.
Yeah, okay. I like that. That sounds similar to me, I suppose. I definitely haven't played any of the recent ones. And I think I've played some maybe on the 3DS that came out. I don't even know what they were now.
Yeah, what were they? There was like a mercenaries one, which was not like a real. It was more just like killing. There was no story, I think. And
Mhm.
then the one that took place on the ship.
Oh, yeah.
And that
Hmm.
one I think I like quite a that one may be my second favorite. I can't remember what it was called, but though I remember being on a ship for the bulk of the game.
Mhm. Is Resident Evil 4, like, generally considered to be one of the better ones by everyone or just you?
I can't say.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just curious now. Like, what made it different? Was it the characters or the style or both?
Yeah, I think it was more of a third person, like over the shoulder kind of thing throughout the
Mhm.
whole game, as opposed to kind of like the tank confined controls of the
Ah,
originals.
yeah.
And then after that, they became even more like almost like shooters, I believe. Again, I didn't play them. I don't think they were released, at least not at the time, for
Mhm.
Nintendo systems. So
Yeah.
I kind of fell off the boat there.
Yeah, yeah. Not the ship, not the
Not the ship, yeah.
yeah. Cool. Alright, that sounds good. I like that explanation, thank you. Yeah, like you, I haven't played the most recent ones, and I don't know how different or similar they are to the originals. Yeah, I guess we'll see how the reviews go and what people think. Yeah, yeah, like I said, maybe it's just the hype of it all. I'm getting caught up in it. I'm seeing things and I'm like, "Yeah, this actually does look pretty cool." Yeah,
Yep.
we'll see. Because I think isn't it meant to be a bit more I thought 7 and 8 were quite different with the way they played, and this is more of a hybrid of both of them, like, one was a bit more actiony and one was a bit more stealthy or something like that?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it seemed that way. The levels with Grace, are kinda like the original or the early Resident Evil
Mm,
games, and
mhm.
the level with, Leon, is going to be more action oriented.
Yeah. So they just give everyone both and have everything.
Yeah.
So which will be great if you like both, but if you hate one, you'll hate half the game, maybe. So
Yeah, you'll have to, as we say here at Pure Nintendo, finish the radish with the levels that you don't like,
yeah.
so you can get back to the gameplay that you do want.
Yes, exactly, exactly. Cool. So that's the month of February. I know there's other games in there, but yeah, it's a big month. There's a lot happening. So I don't know why February is it usually a big month? I don't really know.
You know, I think so. I think,
Yeah.
well, because I'm looking ahead to March, and
Mm.
a couple of the games that I'm really looking forward to this year both come out in March.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think this time of year, after the holidays are done, you'll get some big releases when people are like, okay, that's finished. What's next?
Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah. Cool. Lot to look forward to. Let us know, listeners, which games you're playing this month. Now, last week also, or kind of the week before actually, but anyway, every month Nintendo releases some games for the Switch Online Classics. The latest to join this group were some Game Boy titles, namely Yoshi and Balloon Kid. And just wanted to highlight that they're available now. And I had not played either of these before. I did try them both. Have you played either of these before? Or
I have
did you
not.
try them? No.
Nope.
Yeah, I will say Yoshi, I've heard of and I knew of, and it's fun. It's a really fun one. It's a drop down game. It's quite different. It's not like your Tetris or your Puyo Puyo or anything like that. It's not like a merge. Well, no, it is a merging game. So Yoshi's in control, I think. Someone's in control. Mario's there, I think. Anyway, at the bottom of the screen, there's like three um, pairs of plates, I guess. I think. I don't even know what they are. And you can spin these pairs. So you can swap what's on your plate to another plate. And so you can move things from left to right. And basically what happens is from the top down come enemies like Goombas and Koopas and piranha plants, boos, like little enemies anyway, Mario enemies. And the idea is to join them together and they disappear. If a Goomba lands on top of a Koopa Trooper, then it just sits there. And so it gets higher and higher. And once you get to the top, game over. There's the Yoshi part of it, I suppose, is that half of an egg will drop sometimes, and that lands on your plate. And then if you put like a Goomba in the egg, so so the half an egg shell lands. It's a shell, sorry, not an egg. It's an egg shell. Then the Goomba lands on top of the half, and then you need a closing half to land on top of that to complete the egg. And then the Goomba is in the egg, and you get a point or something. I don't know. I think the goal is to get as many eggs as possible while you're just removing Goombas and things. It's pretty unique, I will say, and it's fun, and it gets pretty hard. So I did have a go, and I thought I was doing pretty well, and then suddenly it got really hard. I don't know, I got like 15 eggs or something, maybe. So I don't know, it's probably really low, but it is a fun little puzzle game. Balloon Kid, I have no idea what this game is or how to even play it. It's just like, what's the balloon game? The classic one from the NES, Balloon Fight, is it?
Oh,
I think
there were a couple. What am I thinking of?
there was a yeah, it was a balloon fight. I think it was, yeah,
Yeah,
from
the
like
balloon fight.
1985. I don't know if it's related to that. I want to say it is. It just feels, oh, is it balloon fight? I don't know what it's called. There's a balloon
Did
game.
Puyon involve balloons?
I don't know. I'm
Was
not
that the
sure.
game where you had to see, I'm trying to think. You were going up the side. Yeah, yeah. Puyon had balloons, but I don't
Oh,
know if that's what you're thinking of.
okay.
Yeah, that's the one where you were like going up and down on like a little conveyor belt
Ah,
thing, I guess, or like up and down on a rope, and there were these things with balloons, and you had to pop their balloons so they fell down.
oh
Um,
yeah, yeah. Okay.
okay.
Well, I don't know if you know Balloon Fight, but it's like a side-scrolling game, I suppose, and you're flying a balloon and there's enemies and you kind of have to, I think you land on top of them or something like that. It doesn't really, it's sort of, each level is more contained, I think. Balloon Kid, which is apparently a sequel, is more of a side scroller, as in it's like a proper level and you actually have levels. I don't know. Anyway, it's really hard because I don't know what you're supposed to do. There's not much of a tutorial. I guess they didn't have tutorials back then on Game Boy. You fly your little balloon person so you can hover or you can land on the ground. There are enemies, but you can let go of your balloons. Like you press A, I guess, one of the buttons, and the balloons disappear. And then you're kind of just running on the ground like Mario or something, which is fine. But then suddenly there's a giant gap that you cannot possibly jump over. You need your balloons to hover over. And I'm just not intuitive or something, but I could not work out how to get across these giant gaps without a balloon. I couldn't get my balloons back. I'm pressing the buttons. I'm like, my balloon's gone. How do I get across this giant gap? Why would they let me? Why would they make me let go of the balloons and then give me a giant thing I can't cross? There must be a way to get the balloons back, right? So I
I
don't
would
know.
hope so.
Yeah, you would hope so. And the thing is, the level moves, so you're forced to move. You can't
Ah,
just sit
okay.
there and wait.
Yeah.
It scrolls automatically, so you just fall off the edge then. And like they hide these little like like extra lives, like hearts and things in parts of the level, which are fun to get. But for example, there's a part in like level 2 where the heart you cannot get it with your balloons on your back because you're too big. But if you let go of your balloons, you can jump up and get it. So I let go of the balloons, jump up and get the secret heart thing. I'm like, yay, I got the secret heart thing. But now I have no balloons. And then the giant gap comes again. And I'm like, well, now I just have to die. So I don't know. There's something missing. I'm sure I'm missing something here. But anyway, it's there. Give it a go if you want. It's a
Well,
classic.
now you've kind of made me have to try it.
Yeah. What am I missing? What am I not pressing to get my balloons back? Anyway, I guess it's fun. It's nicely designed, and I like that Balloon Fight had a sequel that I didn't even know about. I think that's cool. Maybe we need a new balloon fight, a balloon game. Like we talk about getting a new Kid Icarus or a new Star Fox.
Yeah.
Where's our balloon games? Where's our sequels? Yeah.
We need a collection. I want a collection of old
Yes.
NES and arcade games that involve balloons in one
Yeah.
way or another.
Yes. Please make that happen, Nintendo. Thank you. The last piece of news is we like to talk about Nintendo music sometimes, and the last two editions, because they generally have one per week, were Tamagotchi Life and Paper Mario. I think it was Origami King, and I have not listened to these. Sorry, but I wanted to bring it up, especially because Tamagotchi Life was added, and obviously we just talked about that recently because they had a dedicated direct for the upcoming game. So I thought that was a really nice little tie-in to add the previous game to Nintendo Music. Trev is not here this week, unfortunately. I'm sure he's listened to them. He's listening to us talk about it now, going, "What are you doing, guys? Why didn't you listen to it?" Sorry, didn't get around to it. Um, I have to ask the question that I ask every week, Kirk. Were these the soundtracks that got you to download the Nintendo Music app?
They were not.
That's okay. That's expected, I think.
Although I imagine that they're really good. I mean, those I can picture in my head without ever having played the game a Tamagotchi Life soundtrack. And
Yeah.
that may be because was that the same thing they called like those little eggs that everyone used to carry around before the video games really took off? Little LED Tamagotchis,
Oh,
where they you had to keep them alive. They were like little
yeah.
animals.
Yeah.
I that kind of music, that like chip tune music that accompanies those is so appealing to me.
Hmm.
But I don't know if that's the kind of music that's in Tamagotchi Life.
I don't know either, to be honest, and I'm sorry, I should know. Trev would probably know. I would think it is that quirky, little me music. Maybe
Yeah,
from the Wii era as well. Like, yeah, for the new one at least. I don't know the old one, not sure. But yeah, it'd be based on that. It'd be like a modern version of that, I think.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I'm sure it's quite funny and cute and quirky. So yeah, give it a listen if you're a fan, if you have the app and you like listening to soundtracks. I think Paper Mario Origami King would be quite nice. That was a really fun game. I don't sorry if you can hear my dog snoring, by the way. She's right next to me. We don't have Trev's cats this week, but we do have my dog. So yeah, I like Paper Mario in general, and the Origami King was a really good outing. I don't remember the soundtrack while playing it particularly, but it was a few years ago now. Sorry, were you going to say something?
I was going to ask which system Origami King came out for before
That
I
was
looked it up.
on the Switch.
Was it Switch? Okay.
Yeah, yeah, a few years ago now. Gosh, I don't know what year it was, but must have been 2019 or something,
Okay.
maybe. I don't know.
I didn't play that one. What was the one that came out for the Wii? Or was it Wii U? There was one before it. Because I know I played one of them, but it wasn't a Switch game.
I don't know. I know there was Thousand Year Door. Was that on the GameCube though? Wasn't it? Was that no? Sorry, Paper Star. I don't know. There's so many. I don't. Trev's the one who remembers dates and titles and things.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like a walking encyclopedia. I'm not sure. Sorry, but this is the latest one. I know they did have a re-release of was it Thousand Year Door relatively recently, but this is the latest original one, Origami King.
Okay. I
Yeah.
think the one I played was Super Paper Mario.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
because the
and
original.
that was for the Wii, 2007.
Ah, okay, cool. I think I might have missed that one somehow. I think. Yeah, because Paper Mario, the original, was that I think it was Nintendo 64? The original one, maybe? Anyway, there's lots of Paper Mario love. Listen to the soundtrack, enjoy. And maybe we'll get a new Paper Mario game sometime in the near future. Who knows? Let's move on to Kirk's Corner. And what is the game you have for us this week?
Boy, this is one that I wouldn't have seen coming.
Mhm.
But a long time, not a long time, was it 2020? I think I put down. Let's see, there a game came out called Brigandine, The Legend of Runercia. Yeah,
Mhm.
2020
Mhm.
for the Switch. This is it's kind of a Fire Emblem style game, turn based, but there's a lot of management going on. It is like you know how you think of people who like to play games and they sit around a table with their friends and they'll play for an hour or two and they're done. And then there are the type of people who like to play strategy games where they go to a convention and they sit at a
Mm.
table with a group of player people and they will play for 7 hours straight
Yes.
without even stopping to use the restroom or eat. That's who Brigandine, The Legend of Runercia is made for. This
Right.
is a very deep turn based combat game. There's so much more to do in it. Um, there's management, there's resources, putting together your party. You can play. There are story modes, but you could also just play through battles as one of like you take on a role of like up to 20 or so different factions and then go play that way. It's
Wow.
really in depth. Um, uh, so I played it, I reviewed it. I think I gave it like a 7 or 8 at Pure Nintendo. It's up there somewhere. I
Yeah,
probably should pull that page up.
you gave it an 8, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Just an awful lot going on. You really need to be into the tactics
Mhm,
on this. Like I complain about how in Fire Emblem they're getting away from the tactics of it
mhm.
and more of a social gaming style thing. This is the far opposite of that. Anyway,
Right.
I say all that to point out that there's a new game coming out in 2026. We don't know the date yet, called Brigandine Abyss.
Mhm.
And in the trailer, and I should have pulled this up too. I believe the scenario for this is written by the same person who wrote the scenario for Fire Emblem Path of Radiance.
Oh, wow, okay,
At least there's definitely a Path of Radiance connection there.
cool.
There are 24 different factions. There's the mission mode. There's the story mode. You still get that, and the values on this one look like they really stepped up the game on this. The previous one had gorgeous artwork, and it had like a decent story and some cutscenes, but this one really picked up. It just looks very modern and very polished. And at the moment, that's really all I know about it. It's, like I said, coming out in 2026. It's coming out for various systems, including just the Switch 2. There is no
Mm.
standard Switch version of this. Um, but yeah, imagine a turn-based battle game that's kind of centered around something like Civ, for example.
Yeah.
And now you kind of have an idea of what you're stepping into with Brigandine.
Wow, that sounds impressive. Yeah, it looks like even looking at the some of the people involved with it, the creators, the character design is from someone who was involved with Fire Emblem Heroes. The music, someone involved with Akami, Bayonetta, and Fire Emblem Three Houses. And then yeah, you've got your supervisor who was from Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. So yeah, lots of Fire Emblem influence, I guess, in there.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised that they can pull people in like this because I really get the feeling that this is the kind of game where if you get into it, you're going to absolutely love it and would want to work on it. So yeah, I
Mm.
in fact that's one other thing I put here because I didn't want to miss it. The original game, which came out in 2020 that I talked about, is currently on sale. It's 84% off.
Wow.
It's normally a $50 game, and you can get it right now for 8. That sale goes through
What?
February 26th. So if you check it out, look at Brigandine, and if especially look at Brigandine Abyss, although it's not in the eShop yet, you could find it like on YouTube and such.
Mm.
If it looks like it's something you want to play, I highly recommend going back to the previous one, if only because it's $8. I don't know that it continues the story. I don't think you will have to play it, but this will give you something to play. And I guarantee you, if you get into it, you will be playing it well into 2026 um, when the new one comes out.
Yeah. Is it a very long game then? Is it
It
like you said, the people that sit around the table playing all day? Like
Yeah, because that's it. It's after you finish the story, you can continue to play it ad nauseum, just by
Mm.
and get a completely different experience each time just by playing a different faction.
Yeah, how many factions did you say? 20?
I think- Yeah,
Some
I think there were 20 in the original. The new one, I believe, has 24.
Wow, okay. Cool. Is this and so is it a series, and are these the only 2 games in the series or just the only 2 that we're sort of across that maybe have only these 2 come to Nintendo, for example?
These are the only two I know of.
Mhm.
Let me. I'll do a quick search and see what I turn up because those are the only ones that I think came to Nintendo.
Yeah, okay.
Um,
It sounds like
and
Bridgerton, doesn't it? Brigadine. Brigadine.
it does a little. Oh, you know what? Oh, good. Actually, I'm glad I just did this because when I linked to it, for the purposes of talking about it for the podcast, the
Mhm.
website that they had set up was not yet working, but it is now.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
it's at nisamerica.com. So if you go there, I'm sure you'll find the info on it, and it includes the trailer and a bunch of the characters and all kinds of good details. Um,
Very cool. Mm.
yeah. So when I search for Brigandine, it pulls up a like some kind of medieval armor. So I guess that's where it got the name. I can't
Yeah.
find any other details on earlier games in the series.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it looks like it's been around since the late 90s, maybe?
Okay.
Brigandine, The Legend of Forcina? Uh, yeah, I don't know. There's a whole history there, so looks like it was just for PlayStation previously, and
Okay.
now it's everywhere, these newer ones, which is great. So yeah, it definitely looks lovely. That trailer of the new one looks
Yeah.
amazing, very visually wonderful. So definitely check it out. And yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, you will have seen it while we've been talking anyway. So yeah, hopefully it strikes a chord with you. Thank you, Kirk. Let's move on to the games that we're playing this week, and we have a very robust list actually. But I will start with one of those February games that I mentioned, which is Mario Tennis Fever, which just came out a few short days ago. I guess it's the next Nintendo game. I don't know if you call this one a first party game because it's Camelot was the developer, but they kind of are they part of Nintendo? Does Nintendo own them or just work with them? It's published by Nintendo anyway, and it's obviously a Mario game. Now, I was looking into Mario. I'm doing a review of this game, so thank you to Nintendo Australia for the code. I was interested in it anyway. I do love my Mario games, of course. I haven't experienced a lot of the Mario Tennis games, though, to be honest. And this is the eighth game, I believe, in the series. It is a brand new game. It's not a port. It's not a re-release or an HD version or a collection or anything like that. It's a brand new game. It's looks lovely. It's very colorful and bright, of course. It is a Switch 2 game. You can tell, these games that are Mario esque, these kinds of Mario Party or Mario Tennis, these types of games are, they're not the like they are HD, but they're not, it's not the details of the Resident Evil characters or the Final Fantasy characters that, you get. This is Mario, right? So it's cartoony, but you can tell it is high quality when you look at the tennis courts or even just some of the characters. You can see the detail. It's a Mario character. So it does look very lovely. There are lots of modes to play, quite a few actually, which I'm really impressed with, and I haven't even got around to trying them all yet. There's an adventure mode, which is kind of a story mode, so I've been playing that quite a bit, and I love this. I love the story here because there's a really decent intro, like a nice video. You can skip it, of course, but it involves Wario and Waluigi, who I think is one of your favorites, Waluigi, right?
Oh yeah,
Yep.
definitely.
So
He is my favorite.
he is your favorite. Yeah, I
Oh,
thought so. Well, there's something cool in here for you then, potentially, but he and Wario are up to no good. I don't really know what their scheme is, but Princess Daisy is unwell. They need to find this special vegetable of some sort to help her. All of the crew, Donkey Kong and Mario, etc., they all go out to get this fruit. They get ambushed by these fuzzy monsters that you would recognize from the Mario platforming games, and they get turned into babies, essentially. So you've got baby Mario, baby Luigi, baby Peach, but also baby Wario and baby Waluigi, which is a
I
first.
I see a picture of him here now
Yes.
on the eShop. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, they're still mischievous, the baby Wario and baby Waluigi,
Yes.
but they're cute. So, yeah, I believe this is the first time we've had Waluigi as a baby in a game before, I think, from what I understand. The others have existed, but it's a fitting tribute because Waluigi, his debut was in a Mario Tennis game like 25 years ago or something.
Oh,
I believe this was the introduction to Waluigi. I think he was brought into Mario Tennis as an offsider as a partner, sorry, for Wario. Wario existed. They wanted a doubles partner for Wario. They don't want to put him with, Mario or Luigi because they are partners. Do you know what I mean? So
okay.
this is what they did. They introduced
I
Waluigi.
didn't know he had a tennis background.
Yeah, there you go. So you play as baby Mario in the adventure, and you have to level up and practice and learn how to play basically, and then you do matches and things like that. It's really fun. It's really fun. I like it. I like that it's so far in the story mode. You do your matches, but it's broken up very nicely. You're not just playing tennis match after tennis match, which maybe people want that. I don't know, but this is not that game. You are doing tennis matches, but you're also doing training, and that is involving hitting a ball back and forth with a piranha plant kind of bot, which is like your trainer. But there's also other like a kind of mini games which are sort of tennis themed, but quite varied, and they kind of break up the gameplay really well, I think. So, for example, you might be Mario is strengthening his, I can't remember if it's like his legs or something, because he's baby Mario, so he needs to get stronger to defeat the monsters and turn back into normal Mario. So he's strengthening up all his body, and one of the things, he has like these wings, he's like a little plane, and he has to collect tennis balls, I think, and there's nets in his way, but it's like a runner, and it's like the screen moves forward, and you have to avoid the nets, collect the balls, and collect points, and get so many points in so many seconds. And there's 3 levels of each, so you can do extra challenges. You don't have to do those; you just have to do the first one. But there's 2 extra levels that get harder. So I've gone through and done all them because I just have to do those. So it's nice that it breaks it up, and there's a little world to explore with different characters to talk to. The matches are really fun as well. So I have been playing, obviously, as part of the adventure. I've been playing some matches. Um, the rackets are a big part of this. I think that's the new thing in this game. These fever rackets, they have different themes. There's a bullet bill racket. There's a squid racket. There's a fire racket, an ice racket. I think there's a boo racket. There's heaps of rackets. And you unlock, the more you play, the more you unlock, which is really nice because every time you're playing, it's kind of like Mario Kart, where sometimes you'll collect enough coins, you'll get a new character or a new cart. It's similar to that. You suddenly get a new court to play on, or a new character to play as, or a new racket to use. There's heaps unlock, and so that's kind of incentivizes you a little bit as well. There are heaps of characters. I believe this is the most in any Mario Tennis game. I think it's like 38 or something like that. You can see all the characters that are available to unlock and what you need to do to unlock them, which is kind of cool as well. So you can see, oh, I need to play 25 matches to get. Hayden was excited because Shy Guy is in this game. He loves Shy Guy, right? The little dude with the mask.
Hmm.
And it's not just the red Shy Guy. You can, like Mario Kart sometimes has, you can choose the different colors of Shy Guy. And light blue Shy Guy is his favorite Shy Guy. So he was excited to see that was an option, but it's not an option by default. And we're looking at, I think you have to play like, I don't know, 25 or 50 something games to unlock him. So we have a goal. We've played 9 matches so far. So I like that as well. I like that it's all very open and transparent, and it's not particularly hard to get these things, but it does, like I said, it does incentivize you to play some more. And like I said, there are a bunch of modes. So we tried something called, is it Tournament Tower or something like that? And you have to play like 10 different games, and each game you pass, you get 3 hearts, like 3 chances to lose. And each time you pass, you move up this tower. At the end, there's a kind of a boss match, which was in the first one was Bowser. That was really fun, and each match is kind of different and quirky. Like sometimes you're playing as Diddy Kong and there's bananas on the field and you're playing against Donkey Kong. Or sometimes you're playing and there's ice on the field, which is super annoying. Sometimes, sometimes you're just trying to not get a return shot. Like Baby Peach was one opponent, and you had to not let her return 3 times. So you had to hit them away from her 3 times, like 10 times. And if she returned them 3 times, you're kind of out. So there's these really good variances of tennis. And of course, you can play classic tennis if you want to. That is absolutely a mode as well. You can jump into a match. There's online modes, there's multiplayer, there's local, etc. We wanted to also try the motion controlled matches. So we did a couple of those last night. Just like you would on the Wii. Everyone loves Wii tennis, and I think it feels really natural now to play tennis with a motion control. I don't know if you agree with that, but you played Wii
It,
Sports,
it,
right? Yeah.
let me ask how you do it, and
Sure.
I'll answer it that way. When
Okay.
you're playing it, do you actually swing your entire arm like you're swinging a tennis racket, or do you just flick your wrist?
Oh, I swing my entire arm.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that gets too tiring for me. But I can do motion control if I could just sit there and do little motions with the
Yeah.
wrist.
Well, you can do that, of course. And you don't have to. This is just one of the modes. You can choose the motion control mode. You can also play normally, and the adventure mode is normal. I don't know if you can switch on motion controls if you wanted to. I didn't see that as an option. Most of it though is controller based, and then there's also a mode for people who like to swing their rackets. I played tennis as a kid. My family is a pretty big tennis family, so we love our tennis. Yeah, so I like to swing. Yeah, I got to do the proper swing. So, so that was really fun. Yeah, there's a lot to it. I'm really enjoying it. I'm pretty early in. Obviously, I've only just had it kind of 2 days at this point. But yeah, it's a really fun outing. I'll keep going with it. Try some of these other modes. Write up my review. Get that out as soon as possible. But I think if you're looking for a fun, what's I guess considered a well, it's not really a party title. It's a sports title, right? But it's a sports party title. But yeah, it's a good fun time. And it's been, I think Mario Aces was the last one. Now, what year was that? I think that was quite a while ago from memory. And I think I only played the demo of that one. I don't think I actually got the full game. So we'll see how this compares overall in terms of, what fans think, what Metacritic thinks. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. Do you have any questions for me about Mario Tennis Fever?
No,
No?
I do. Yeah, I don't know if it's the type of game. Since I'm not a huge tennis fan, I don't know if it's
Mm.
a game that I would hop into. But I say that also acknowledging that when there is a tennis or badminton or something along those lines, some racket sport game included with a mixture of other games, it always ends up being one of my favorite sports in the collection.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of classic. I mean, everyone sort of knows how to play tennis. I guess you're just hitting a ball over a net, right? It's not that hard. But obviously, this one has nuances. I think you can modify the matches to an extent. I think you can turn off things like the fever rackets if you want to make it a more realistic experience, I
Mhm.
believe. So yeah, because some people might not like the gimmicky side of it. The fever rackets are fine. Like it's not too gimmicky, I don't think. Like it does you can each player or is it each racket? Each racket has a power. So the fire one will make fire appear on the field for the opponent. You can hit it back though if you time it right, and then that makes the fire appear for the other side, so it can work against you. It doesn't stay there forever. it disappears. And it's if you hit the fire, you kind of have like a health bar, and the health bar depletes a little bit, so you're not out of the game and you're not immediately unable to hit the ball. It just makes it harder, sort of thing. So it's not,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't think it's too gimmicky, but we'll see. We'll see how we go. The other game I just quickly wanted to mention, and this is one I've wanted to mention for a few weeks and just haven't got around to it. But you all know I love Suica, Suica game, and this is Suica World, which actually came out I think early January. And I just want to mention it because it is such a cute little fun puzzle game where, in the original Suica, you drop down fruit and they join, and the goal is to get a watermelon by joining the little fruit to the big fruit, little to medium to big. This one is like almost like a not 3D exactly, it's still 2D, but the fruit go onto a circle like a planet, and the fruit you can go rotate anywhere around the planet and put the fruit into the planet, and they go to the core. And obviously, as you fill up the circle, if it gets to the edge of the circle, that's when you're out. So rather than filling up a rectangle like a drop down style, which is pretty traditional, this is a very different style. So yeah, it's a nice little game. I did pick it up back when it first came out just because I wanted to. I just haven't had a chance to talk about it, but it is really fun. It's really cute, of course. The tunes are all there. I love the songs from this game. They're just very sweet. It's just a nice one to play in between other things if you're just wanting to have a quick little session. Uh, I'm interested to know if anyone else is playing this game. I know it's very big in Japan. I don't know if Suica World has done as well as the original. I'm not sure. I haven't looked into that. It would be interesting to know. But I like that they've changed it. Made it different. At least it's not just a drop down game with some twist. It's completely different in terms of it's a circle now. So that is interesting. I don't know if I like it more than the original. I think it's slightly easier sometimes. Like I managed to get to a watermelon, I think, quicker than I did in the original game. But yeah, it still has its challenges. Yeah, but it's a fun little game. I won't harp on about it too much. Just to let you know it's there and it's fun and it's cute. So let's give Kirk a chance to talk about some games. What are you playing this week?
Well, first, I have a question on this because I just want to make sure something's clarified.
Sure.
Is it called Suica World in Australia? Because here it's
Oh,
listed in the eShop as Suica Game Planet.
oh, okay. I don't know. It's definitely Suica World somewhere. Maybe that's a Japanese name. Suica Game Planet. I don't know. I'll have to check that. I'll have to check that. I can't reach my Switch from here. Sorry. Um, yeah, let me look up the Australian eShop while you talk about your game, and I'll confirm.
Yeah, I was looking it up. There was something called Suica Water World, and I thought that can't be the same thing that she's talking about. So, yeah, I
No,
pulled up
no.
Suica Game Planet.
I mean, it is about
Um,
a planet, so that could be it. Yeah, Suica Game is the original. Where is the second one? Suica Game Bundle? No, Suica Game. Yeah, I'm not sure now, actually.
okay.
Yeah, I can't find it, but I'll keep looking while you talk about your next game.
Okay. Well, quickly, I mentioned that I was playing this ahead of the release of Fatal Frame Crimson Butterfly, which is coming out in maybe about 3 weeks now. No, month.
Mm.
I believe it's a full month. Um, I started replaying Fatal Frame Mask of the Lunar Eclipse, and that was an absolutely great idea
Yeah.
because I mentioned that there was more content. After you complete it the first time, you get like another camera accessory that allows you to find pictures of other ghosts and stuff. And I think the first time I played it completely wrong because mainly would just push through, and like every now and again, a ghost appears and you take a picture and it goes through a door, and I would go through the door and further the story, just kind of let them guide me. Um, but if you explore, there is so much more stuff to find, so many more ghosts to fight, and so many more. They have like these gems that you pick up that you could use to power up your camera. That made the game so much easier. I did not know that you could find so much of this stuff. Even the lore that is sometimes hidden that you could pick up and read if you explore more instead of just kind of follow the path that it's guiding you on. It makes the game a bit longer, but I'm really enjoying it much more on my second playthrough.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think when Crimson Butterfly comes out, I will still do that a certain way. I mean, I'll explore a little bit, but there's, I think, a lot of value in getting all the way through the game, forgetting about it, and then going back and playing it fully to get like the full experience. Because it's scarier if you just push through. If you explore too much, you get too good. The ghosts aren't scary anymore, and it's kind of the same thing over and over. By the time you get to the end, there's no frightening bits at all.
Mm.
Uh, and so I'd rather let the game scare me the whole time by playing it through quickly the first time. But yeah, definitely. I may have to go back in and do the Blackwater game again too if I can
Mm.
kind of squeeze that in before
Yeah.
Crimson
Yeah.
Math or Crimson Butterfly comes out.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That's really cool. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is Suica Game Planet. I just booted up the Switch
Okay.
too, and yeah, I don't know why. I think it was Suica World in Japan originally. Maybe they changed the name even. That's what I wrote down. That's how I know it. But yeah, it is actually Suica Game Planet. So thank you for clarifying.
Okay. Yeah. I just wanted to make sure,
Yeah.
so people weren't looking for the wrong
Yeah.
thing like I
Yeah.
did. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly. Thank you.
All right.
What
Sure.
else is on your list?
Um, Another game coming out in March that I've gotten early access to, and I mentioned this as one of the games I was really excited to see announced in the latest direct is Shadow
Mm,
Tactics: Blades of the Shogun.
very cool. Mm.
This is a kind of like a top-down isometric strategy game where they give you like this sandbox of scenarios, and you have missions that you need to accomplish, and you need to figure out how to get past all the guards. I think I mentioned in the Zelda games where there are guards patrolling, and you can kind of
Mm.
see there's like a little cone of perception, I guess I'll call it,
Yeah.
where they can see things. And you need to make sure that you're not in that, and so you have to figure out how to sneak your way through. And
Mm.
these little dioramas give you multiple ways to get through, and different characters that have different abilities. I have only played through. I just got it yesterday,
Mhm.
so I'm working on the first one. Even the training mission on this is huge
Yeah.
at the beginning. But the first character can throw rocks to distract people, get them to turn away so you can move, or he can kill them with shuriken. Um,
Right. Mhm.
there was another character who was able to throw bottles of sake, so you could distract them with that, and then sneak up on them because they're inebriated. Uh, I think there are 5 characters in total. But the thing that struck me most about this game, I mentioned that I was excited to play it because the Switch 2 has the mouse controls. This game was originally developed for the PC, so
Mm.
keyboard mouse is the way it was designed to work. Um, I don't think I like it with the
Ah,
Joy-Con mouse, and I don't
yeah.
know if it's because I'm unfamiliar with it. I've played some games with that where you're just kind of like sliding things around and that's fine. But when I'm
Mhm.
using it also with the multiple buttons, like the R trigger becomes the mouse button, but then on the side of it, when you have it turned over, you're hitting the A, B, Y, X for different things. That just felt unnatural to me.
Mm, mhm.
So then I started playing it with the controller, with the Pro controller, and it was fantastic.
Oh, there
They've
you
done a
go.
really good job of making it playable that way. So that's the way I'm going through it, and enjoying it so far. But boy, I have a lot to work through, but I got a month to do it. Like we're under embargo on the reviews till mid March. So
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah.
yeah,
That's brilliant.
greatly appreciated when the developers and the PR companies give us access this early to a
Oh,
game.
yeah, especially for a game like this, it's quite in depth. Like,
Yeah.
the 5 characters, do you rotate through them as in, like, are you told now you're playing as this character, or do you get to unlock them and then choose them if you want to?
Well, the level I'm on now, I started with one, and then I was playing maybe about 10 minutes before another one popped up. And so then what you do is like you'll shift. You'll take one of your characters and put him someplace safe so
Mhm.
he can't be detected. And then you control the other guy, or girl, depending on who you've got access to yet,
Mhm.
and get things set up over there. And one of the early missions was the guy I was controlling at the start needs to break into this kind of like fortress, but he can't. The doors are too reinforced. Samurai appears. He's able to get in, and he sneaks over to a cannon and is able to fire a cannonball through the door. Now my main guy has access, and so he's able to get into what he wants to do. So they kind of work in tandem that way.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
If it extends the way I expect it to, there's going to come a time where you have to start timing things,
Mm.
and you'll be switching between people more quickly as opposed to kind of locking someone down and then switching
Yeah.
over to someone else. But
Wow.
we'll see. I haven't made it deep enough to
That
find
could
out.
get complicated, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, the main game I played like this, I mentioned last week, was, Robin Hood Sherwood? What was it called? Robin Hood something Sherwood,
Mm.
and in that one, you needed to, like, time certain things so you could program where you want the people to go and then kinda, like, play it out. I don't think this game is that way. You're actively controlling each person as opposed to taking all your steps and then seeing if it works, uh, but we'll see.
Cool. That sounds really fun. It does sound good.
Yeah, and the graphics are phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's got that kind of old style, like, what's the I can't remember the word. Like, most games were made this way, like, Age of Empires and that kind of thing,
Mm,
where
mhm.
it wasn't 3D, it wasn't, polygonal graphics, and it's sprite based, I think. And everything looks like what it is. I mean, perfectly like what it is. Now, of course, with the modern games, everything looks like what it is everywhere. But there was a time where everybody was hopping on the 3D polygon bandwagon, and I just didn't like it. Everything
Mm,
looked kind of like fake and flat to me somehow, even with the 3D. The graphics are very lush. It's set in Edo era Japan, which I've said visually I think is one of the more compelling eras to put a game in.
mm.
um, Everything's well lit. It's just really, really good looking game, and it plays wonderfully on the Switch too.
That's awesome. Yeah, it does look lovely. Like, we saw the trailer last week, and the stills just look, like, very detailed, like the little houses and everything. Yeah, it looks really nice. I do agree with that. So
Yeah, and there's like a lot of movement. There'll be like random people who you're not supposed to, incapacitate, we'll say, moving around, like birds. There you'll be hopping along and like birds will flutter away from where you've stepped. So it's a very lively presentation visually.
Wow. Yeah. It sounds great. Very cool. I'm glad you've got your hands on that one. Hopefully, it goes well for the next month or so, and then we'll hear your full thoughts once that embargo lifts. So, yeah, excellent. Thank you. Anything else? Any other games on your list?
Yeah, I will quickly throw all the way back to, what was it, November? When we talked about the Tomb Raider Definitive Edition coming out for the
Yes.
Switch 2.
Yeah.
Finally gotten around to starting this review. So my apologies
Ah,
to
cool.
Aspire and everyone involved because it's taken us so long. And this is a game I played before. I played it on the Macintosh, reviewed it for an earlier website that I used to write for, and it's a really good game. It's got excellent action. The graphics are good. The gameplay is very engaging in that it constantly changes up what you're doing.
Mhm.
I still have the complaint that it doesn't feel like a Tomb Raider game to me, and that
Mm,
just stems from the fact that I was playing Tomb Raider from the start.
mhm.
And to me, they were more exploration puzzle based games as opposed to combat. This game is heavily combat oriented. There's a lot of gunplay. You're killing an awful lot of people. You're hunting animals to get food.
Mm.
Um, and the whole tomb portion of it is kind of become an afterthought. Like how on Breath of the Wild, you no longer had the dungeons to explore. They kind of shoved that aside into what the beasts, what do they call them?
Mm. Yep. Yeah.
And to a lesser extent, the it's been so long since I played Zelda. Why am I blanking out on this? The shrines.
Oh, yeah,
Thank you, the
yeah.
shrine.
Yep, the shrines, yes.
You had that, and that's kind of what it is here. As there are like characters that you're interacting with, and you know where you have to go, but along the way you might find a small tomb, and you can go in and explore it. And then it
Right.
has like, oh, I got to figure out how to get here. What do I do to get this? And
Mm.
that has kind of like the Tomb Raider thing, but it's very quick, and then it's back to fighting.
Mhm.
So that still bugs me.
Mhm.
But playing it on the Switch 2 as opposed to on my Macintosh where I played all the other Tomb Raider games up to that point, I'm a little more forgiving of it now because I'm taking it for what it is as opposed to what I wanted it to be. It feels a little more natural to play a game of this type on a
Mm.
console. It works really well. So yeah, I think I'm enjoying it more this time than I did the first time I played it. And as I continue to push through it and finish it up, then I'll know for sure. There are also some wonderful, wonderful story elements in it. There's one scene in this that I think is the way it's presented, both within the plot and visually, is maybe one of my favorite moments in a video game ever. And
Ooh.
I won't spoil it because I want people to get there and you'll run through the same emotions I did as we hit it.
Mm.
But it's got great elements like that, even though most of the story and the acting around it feels kind of like on the Sci-Fi Channel level to me.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, not bad, but not the kind of thing you would expect if you were paying good money to go see it in a movie theater.
Yeah, yep.
Um, but it works. It all works. It pushes the story along, and yeah, a good game. If you haven't tried this and you're used to the old Tomb Raiders, give it a go. It's only $20.
Yeah, that's pretty good actually. Because I think it's originally, what, 2014 or something, the original version of this?
Yeah, was it around that time? Yeah, that sounds
Something like
right. Sure.
that. Yeah. And maybe because when you played it the first time back in the day, did you know it was gonna be different to the original Tomb Raiders?
I did.
Okay.
I did, yeah. You could well, you could tell first just by looking, but also
Mm,
with a different development team.
yeah.
It was now Crystal Dynamics had taken it over,
Mhm.
so I knew it was coming from a different place, and I didn't like the place that it came from.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining about the company. I just mean that type of game.
Mm.
Too much of that out there already. I like the more puzzle and exploration elements.
Yeah. No, that makes perfect sense. I do remember you talking about that back in November when this first came out. So that makes perfect sense. Yeah, well, I'm glad you're enjoying this one more, and hopefully we'll see what your review brings. But do you think graphically is it much improved over the original 2014 version? Have they done a lot to the
Yeah,
what's the definitive edition? Is it just better
Definitive
graphics?
Edition also has DLC and
Okay.
such in it.
Mm.
It is yeah, visually it's gotten some upgrades too.
Hmm. Yeah. Cool. Any mouse controls?
Yeah, I mean, it's not the best looking game on the Switch 2.
Mm.
It still feels a bit dated visually. I'm not sure why a game like this couldn't have been done on the Switch. Um,
Mm.
but but
Ah,
it looks good. It's a very well designed
I think
game
it is on the
and
Switch, isn't it?
it performs well. Oh, is it?
I think so. It's on Metacritic, has a Switch category for
I
it.
wonder then why
It's only got
they
one
release
review
it for
though.
both. Oh, they did.
Hmm.
It did come out for both, and I just have the Switch 2 version. All right, well, there
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Mm. Interesting. Yeah, there's only
See,
one review for the Switch on Metacritic, so it doesn't have a rating. It's just got one person who reviewed it, whereas the other
yeah, I
systems seem to have, an average score. So, hmm.
does the Switch 2 have more,
Yeah, yeah,
or is
yeah.
that a combination of both? Okay, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it's got 15 reviews, critic
okay.
reviews. Yeah.
I should also point out too that this game takes place like before Lara Croft became Lara Croft. She's younger in this. She's
Ah,
still
okay.
finding her way, and it's supposed to be one of those stories that helps you see how she developed.
Mm.
But all I get out of this game is I have no idea how she does not have every bone in her body just shattered.
Yeah.
She is constantly falling. Like in the original Tomb Raider game, if you fell from a height that was maybe twice Laura's height, she would die. In this one, she's falling 30, 40 feet and landing on rocks and,
Right?
getting up in pain, but she gets up and moves onward.
Oh my
I
goodness. Jeez.
no
Okay.
idea.
Younger, she's hardcore and I
That's
don't know.
true. Yeah.
Yeah, more robust. I
Well,
don't know.
yeah, that's what happens. Maybe she did shatter all her bones. And so now if she falls anything at all, as she grew up,
Mm.
that was it.
This kind of reboot of the series, did they do any follow-ups to it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I I don't believe I played any of those. But
Mm.
maybe they'll come out for the Switch and I'll give those a shot too.
Yeah, interesting. Cool. Thank you for that. Good to know. I didn't really even know we were reviewing it, so that's cool.
Yeah, we sat on this code forever.
Oh, never mind.
So yeah,
Better
I
late
feel
than
bad,
never.
but yeah, Game Boy, it deserves attention.
Yeah, nice. Very good. Well, listeners, let us know if you have played Tomb Raider Definitive Edition and if you are a fan of this style, the action style, or the kind of older classic, more explorative style. Let us know about any of the games that we've been playing. Are you playing Mario Tennis or Suica Game Planet? Fatal Frame, are you a series fan of the horror genre? No one's probably playing Shadow Tactics because it's not out yet, but maybe they played the original version because I think it's an older game that's been moved to the
Yeah.
Switch. Yeah.
Yeah. Quite
Oh,
old game.
and and other systems, but yeah, this is like the upgraded version, so it's cool. Thank you so much, Kirk, for joining me this week. It's been a big week. Thank you, listeners, for staying with us. Well over the hour, but we had a lot to discuss. So let us know your thoughts on all of those topics from today. If you'd like to follow us on social media, we are on Blue Sky, so head over there and see what we're up to. If you'd like a copy of the Pure Nintendo magazine, you can head on over to patreon.com/Pure Nintendo. I am working on the final article now, so it's very close. I know I say this every week. I've had some things that have kept me from finishing it, but I'm back onto it. It's very, very close. Stay tuned. It'll be out in the next, I reckon, 2 weeks. So, yeah, stay tuned for more details on that one. Thanks again, everyone, and until next week, game on, everybody. Bye.